Hey, good evening there, internets. At least it's evening as I'm recording this right now. Getting pretty late in the old nighttime here. Feeling a bit tired after a not full night of sleep last night. But here I am again to continue to document my journey. It's now day 4 of the journey from $0 to $1 million on this channel. Please subscribe, click the like button, all that fun stuff down here on the YouTube console to be sure you can continue tracking this journey as we go throughout this coming year to get to $1 million in revenue in my business, which, by the way, still doing part-time while also managing family stuff and various other things going on. So still a crazy idea, and not entirely clear that I'll get to my goal in 361 days from now, but nevertheless, all we can do is keep pushing on, pushing forward, and understanding that I will likely have various challenges and obstacles to overcome as I work through this, given that much of what I have to do to have a successful business are things that I've never actually done. I'm in my day job as an engineer and as a sort of project leader, program manager, whatever, what have you. Obviously I'm very comfortable in kind of scoping out what projects need to get accomplished, mapping out schedules, budgets, these sorts of things, which all that is certainly relevant for running a business, starting a business, but all the most important things related to getting customers, i.e. marketing, getting those customers to buy something from you, i.e. sales, are certainly things that I do not have any experience in. So again, will continue to be an interesting journey kind of as I make my way through here. Here as I've been working on things for a couple hours now this evening, just trying to make continued forward progress. Again, main goal here is to keep momentum up, knowing that even if I can't make big steps every day, as long as I'm making some steps, I will inevitably be further down the path a year from now than where I am now. It's unreasonable to think that I will get there overnight, and there is no such thing as overnight millionaire, overnight instant success story. There's always a lot more behind the scenes going on, and so again, this is just my journey of the steps I'm taking, and hopefully it might help somebody in the future that would see this, and even if not, that's fine. I have this to share with my kids one day, so hopefully they'll get some entertainment out of it. Watching their dad struggle through things as they're all fast asleep now in their beds right now. But so I guess kind of updates for today. I think I talked to you yesterday about starting to lay out my YouTube channels and start to come up with some super simple but hopefully slightly catchy graphics to incorporate on the YouTube channel. And there's again 2 different channels that I'm setting up. One is for these types of videos, which I'm calling my business launch secrets channel, and then the second channel is for the PhD secrets, which will be kind of my core business, which is more or less focused around providing coaching and I think a newsletter to help PhD level engineers in their own careers to make more money if that's what they want to do, or at least kind of move up in their rank, the best path sort of to get promoted or to work on the things that are most interesting to them. Still kind of need to hash out like exactly what the focus will be, I guess, but nevertheless, helping basically people like myself. I'm a PhD level engineer and have had various sort of epiphanies, as Russell Brunson likes to talk about, over my journey over the past, 10 years now it's been. And thus I would like to be able to share some of those lessons learned with folks that might be behind me in terms of where they're at in their career and are looking to make more forward progress in their own careers, and hopefully I can help them through that. And in turn, they will pay me some amount of cash money, obviously for achieving their desired outcome, right? And ultimately, me delivering over and above, the value in exchange for whatever the actual dollar amount ends up being. Kind of a side note so I usually listen to Russell Brunson's podcast on the way into work and like coming home. My commute, which isn't too long, about 15 or 20 minutes, I guess, each way. And Russell Brunson started a podcast called Marketing in My Car, Marketing in Your Car or something, which is probably now, I don't know, like 5 or 6 years old at this point. But he now has a newer podcast called Marketing Secrets. At some point, he kind of transitioned over from Marketing Your Car to Marketing Secrets. And I'm still on the Marketing Your Car podcast because there's like, I don't know, 400 episodes or something. And I've been through a good vast majority of them, but still have several that I'm working through. And so this is older material and sort of Russell Brunson's timeline of his own journey, but nevertheless, all good content and good sort of lessons that he shares as he was going through, even getting ClickFunnels up off the ground and various challenges and things they dealt with in their kind of more early phases that you might not be as familiar with if you're maybe kind of new to the scene as I am, and learning about ClickFunnels and everything they've accomplished and done over the years that they've been around, and even sort of now where they're going forward with ClickFunnels 2.0. So in any case, I usually get through like 2 or 3 of his podcasts on a daily basis, going to and from work, right? So, because they're relatively short, like 10 or 15 minutes long. But, one in particular that kind of stood out today was he talked about, his background as a wrestler, as in that was his sport or that I guess still is his sport of choice, but it's something he did going back to when he was in high school, and he competed when he was in college as well. And so he was just kind of remarking that, a lot of his kind of success in business, he sort of attributes to the kind of mindset that he had as being a competitive wrestler. It doesn't matter that it's wrestling, it could have been football or baseball or anything else. The point being that, it was drilled in him at an early age that he was always looking for the best way to win in the competition, and that he would extensively study his opponents that he knew he was going to have to face in his matches to understand how they did what they did, what were their weaknesses, what were their strengths, and then he would ultimately come up with the strategies for how to best be the best match against them and be able to ultimately defeat them in the competition, right? And so how he's kind of carried that mentality forward in his own businesses that he's had over his career. And I mean, not being like an ass about it and, being pompous and arrogant, thinking he's going to be the best and dominate everything, but just simply accepting the fact that business is a competitive sport in and of itself. And if you want to get ahead, then you do need to be better than anybody else out there that might be trying to get your customers to buy from them instead of buy from you. And I think it was a totally valid point. I don't myself have the same background of being a competitive athlete of any kind. I was a competitive marching band member in high school, although that wasn't a very competitive sport. Overall, it was fun, a fun activity, lugging around drums on football fields in the middle of summer in Texas, which now seems like a terrible idea, but as a 14, 15, 16-year-old, I guess that sounded really cool, and so that's what I did. But nevertheless, I can kind of respect where he's coming from and understand that certainly as you begin to grow with what you're doing, you have to pay attention to what others are doing as well. And again, learn what they're doing well and ultimately model that, emulate that in your own business, and realize what they're doing poorly and sort of use those as opportunities to pounce on to, ultimately overcome them and outcompete them at their own game, more or less. So that was kind of good. Another little tidbit that I was listening to today during lunch was a interview of Alex Hormozi by, I think it's Tom Bilyeu is his name, who Tom Bilyeu sold his company Quest Food Products, or I forget, supplements or something they were doing, big fitness business or whatnot. But anyway, he sold it for like $1 billion. So he's now kind of on to his next thing, which is more in the education space, I think it is. But anyway, he was interviewing Alex Hormozi, and Alex Hormozi brought up a point which I've heard him talk about before, but again, given what I'm doing right now, sort of resonated a bit more, which talked about, what does it take to go from 0 to 1 million, and then 1 million to 10 million, and 10 million and beyond. So obviously where I am, I was paying attention when he's talking about what do you do to get from 0 to 1 million. And primary thing is it's all about promotion. You have to get people to know who you are and to ultimately want to buy whatever you're selling. And Russell Brunson's also talked about this as well, that again, when you're first getting started out, you ultimately have to just figure out what people are willing to buy from you. What do people find value in, whatever you're offering. And you probably have to kind of tweak whatever it is that you think you want to offer until you can find sort of the sweet spot of how much people are willing to buy from you at some dollar amount rate, based on the value that you're providing. And so again, I've kind of thought about that, what that'll look like initially. Again, I expect it'll probably change over time. But aside from just understanding like, hey, I just need to get people to buy this thing from me, the other thing that Alex really kind of likes to focus on is that, again, when you're getting started, you really need to just focus on like one thing, meaning one product that you're selling through one channel, and just doing that like repetitively over and over again until you kind of fine tune what customers are really looking for and how that best aligns to your product. So the one channel piece of that is thinking about, again, what is the avenue that you are getting people to know about you? Is that, again, going to be paid advertisements on Facebook? Is it going to be writing a blog? Is it going to be making YouTube videos, as I'm, kind of focusing on right now, and using that as a platform to get people to know about me, to promote myself, essentially, to promote my services and ultimately drive them into my sales funnels, et cetera, et cetera. And again, I've heard him sort of say this before, and I thought, well, I don't know, that just sounds to me like very limiting to say I'm only going to do YouTube videos, or I'm only going to do whatever, Facebook advertisements. Because again, where I'm at, getting to $1 million seems like this huge goal, and I just feel like I need to be doing as much, getting, across all the medias out there, getting my message out and trying to get people to know more about me, and of course ultimately be interested in my services, etc. But again, I think his point is that because those of us that are starting out are so kind of scattered, and again, I don't really know what exactly my customers want. I'm just kind of making an educated guess based on, I'm kind of selling them my knowledge of things I've been through, things I struggled with. So I know obviously where I was like 5 years ago, and then the things I would have wanted help with. And so conceive of, if I can find 1,000 of me's from 5 years ago to sell to, then I guess it should be an easy sell. But obviously I'm not going to find people that are currently in exactly the same spot I was 5 years ago. And therefore I don't know exactly what those people that will ultimately hear my kind of sort of message, my pitch more or less, what exactly they're going to kind of latch onto. And it'll probably be different. It will be different, obviously, for every different person, given on what they're sort of bringing to the table with their own life experiences and wherever they're at in their own careers. So again, I think, his point is that just hammer on one rock like for a long time, or at least a reasonable amount of time where you can start to see actual data and then make a decision to say, like, okay, does this data tell me that things are at least starting to work? Or maybe the data is saying, hey, yeah, this is totally not working, we should shift, and that's okay. But without putting in enough reps, you don't really know, you don't have enough statistical data to base your decision on. So focusing again on one channel specifically for a period of time to begin to start to see what are the fruits of that of your labor in that channel, and if needed, maybe make a shift to something else, but don't try to spread yourself thin trying to cover all the bases, which I mean I can appreciate. I was never interested in like trying to post on Facebook and Instagram and YouTube and Twitter and TikTok and like every channel out there all simultaneously and have this giant mass media campaign, because again I'm working here by myself. I'm trying to keep this as simplified as possible, so not looking to kind of outsource a lot of activities, hire people obviously, because as of right now I'm making no monies because I don't even have an offer out there yet. But even when I do get an offer out there and say I would start to generate money, I don't think dumping that money into pushing out on a bunch of different social media platforms, if I had somebody else to help do that, I don't think that's necessarily the best use of those resources. Rather, it's just if I'm finding some success doing something, I should just do more of that thing, and that could definitely get you to $1 million. I mean, as crazy as it sounds right now from starting out with nothing, there's just been too many stories you can watch on the YouTubes about people who have reached that point and well beyond by focusing in on doing a single thing and ultimately offering kind of a single product. So anyway, I guess I'm just sharing that that was something I was thinking about today, and something I'll have to consider, I guess, where do I really want to focus my attention when it comes to how I want to promote the PhD Secrets business. And again, I think I do like the YouTube platform. I think I made a misspoke in my video from yesterday, which I didn't correct because I don't really care about correcting or editing videos. I'm literally just maybe trimming the ends of these videos so you don't see me hacking a cough or something as I'm clearing my throat on the front end. But otherwise, these are just going up into the internets, and so this is more or less stream of thought. And so yeah, I'll probably say some things that people that are listening to it on playback, people are being like, that doesn't make sense. He just said something that didn't make sense. And I'll probably do that because I have slips from time to time and this is an unscripted channel here. You're getting the real deal here in terms of what I'm thinking about, what's going through my brain, and what I'm sharing with you guys. So I'm going to kind of wrap this up because I'm, again, tired and would like to get to bed. But I did want to share a little bit about kind of showing more of what I've worked on design-wise as far as that goes. And so I think I showed some of these yesterday on the PhD Secrets, some of the graphics, which I've been using Canva for a little while, and I do have their like premium membership or whatever, which gets you access to a lot more templates and whatnot. And it's like, yeah, super awesome. Makes it super easy. You just basically create a new template of whatever graphic you want, and it gives you tons of different options. You just kind of tweak it as needed. So the PhD Secret stuff all here, I think I showed that yesterday. I don't think I had finished this, but this is what I am rolling out with for my Business Launch Secrets channel, which is the videos that you're watching right now. So that this will be kind of the logo or the profile pic, whatever. This will be the whatever, the YouTube banner or whatnot, and watermark, And then I even started playing around with some sweet, what do they call them? The thumbnails that you put for your videos. So this is what people see when they search and your video pops up in the YouTube feed, right? So found East Coast One, dropped in a sweet picture from selfie from Orlando there at Funnel Hacker Live. What I really liked about this was I literally just this was a picture I took of myself when I dropped it in here, and then it just has like this remove background function, and so it automatically removed all the background, so you just see my beautiful mug there, and then all these other graphics were just from a template design that is over here on the left side that I just kind of tweaked for what I wanted to say. So I'm going to stick with this for now. Maybe I'll try something different in the future, but this is fine. I can just update the day number and drop that into here. And so speaking of which, on the YouTube side specifically, I have dropped in the first 3 videos to get the ball rolling. So I actually have live videos out there for the world to enjoy. And PhD Secrets, I still need to come up with a game plan for the videos that I'm tentatively saying I'll probably be launching 1 a week on this channel, which will ultimately be what drives, hopefully traffic to where I want people to go. So that's kind of what that's looking like. But and if you're curious, I'm using Loom to record my videos that you're seeing here. They have plenty of free options you can look at, but it allows you to do these videos where you can kind of go back and forth between showing your full screen versus showing what's going on your desktop, right? And if you want to do that kind of video. So that's what I'm using to record some of these videos. Otherwise, I can do it straight through QuickTime Player built in on my Mac, which is free. So I'll probably go back and forth between those for now until I get some more of the monies, and maybe there's a better option out there. I don't know, but this is fine for now. Gets the job done. And go back go back and watch any of Alex Hormozi's videos on YouTube, and you'll find that at least until recently, when he was recording a lot of videos in his bedroom closet or something, shows you that you don't need high production value to have an impact, as long as you've got the right sort of message that you're putting out there in the world. People will pay attention and will be attracted to that. So thus, high production value doesn't always get you tons of interest. Of course, that helps. Obviously, I understand a lot of YouTube people do that, and it does help them, but that's just not really what I'm about at this stage anyway. So that's why I'm keeping these pretty low key. So that's all for today. Y'all have a good rest of the day, and give you another update tomorrow. Peace.